So yesterday, I got a fairly unexpected call from my work to report to the office this morning. I don't really know why, under what capacity, for how long, what's going on, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm coming in way later than I normally would when I had, like, you know, a regular 7 to 5 job. Today on Life Roulette, my life. Let's see if I have a job again. Don't see that every day. Yes, I am taking an overly bizarre way into work. Gotta keep things fresh, you know? All the trails are closed, so you gotta do the urban ones. Good urban single track right here. You know, I really did plan on bringing my motorbike in today, but of course I went and trusted the weather again. And if it doesn't snow and rain today and end up being a cold, sloppy mess, write a strongly worded letter. So, fairly positive news, and it brought me that much closer to Halifax to return some extra lock rings that I ended up with the last time I visited Cyclesmith. Time to do the right thing and bring them back. I didn't pay for these. The streets are so dead. Completely and utterly dead. Good couple of hours just to get a bit of a shakedown ride completed on this thing after putting the new wheels on and making sure that everything jives together. And of course, after riding it and the little nuance differences between the spacing of where a disc rotor decides to mount on one wheel can have those little differences between another. So we do have a little bit of rubbing going on here. That's pretty obvious. So little tweaks here and there that longer rides really help with shaking these little problems out with. So as nice as it was out today that I could have ridden this, it's good to have the opportunities to, one, go out and ride a little bit, and two, get these like little problems solved before I really don't want to be turning wrenches on anything anymore. Wow, that is off to the left a lot. This is one of those times that I'm really glad I painted it white in here and that I have some movable lights so I can actually look through where the rotor is going through the caliper and see the light on either side of the rotor so that I know that it's centered. Sometimes it's just easier to do it manually this way than it is to try and hold the lever and center the caliper that way. We all have our different ways of doing things. And then there was one other thing that I was sort of curious about when it comes to this rear brake, and it maybe feels better now. I did notice before when I had put this all on here that this reservoir seemed to have a bit of a leak. So I dried it all up while I was at the office and then rode it the long way home and used it as much as I could to see if I could make any fluids come out again, and I'm not seeing any, so maybe I'm in the clear. I bled this a couple days ago, so the rear brake feels a lot better because it doesn't have a bunch of air in it, and I'm gonna assume that any sort of fluid that came out of it was residual from the bleed when it kind of leaked out. Let's keep an eye on this one for now. It needs a new brake hose anyway, so there's no point in getting too worked up about it. And I don't know if I reported on a weight of this bike when I put the wheels on, but it came in at around 19 pounds. Not bad, but the old Crux with the cantilever brakes was 2 pounds lighter with tubulars on, I might add. So I don't know where you need to go to lose another 2 pounds from this, but I'm not willing to spend the money. It's not worth it. Okay, so obviously a bit of an unexpected update with my employment situation. Based on today, I am back at the office in a different capacity, but definitely back for the foreseeable future. We'll see what the world has to hold for that later on. But as it stands right now, back into the gainful employment category. So I think it's important to let you all know that. One, because I am a little bit concerned, of course, that it's going to affect the upload schedule that I have been maintaining since April 2nd, which was a video every single day since then. I wanted to try, while I was off on EI, on unemployment, that I would put out a video every single day if I could. I want to still try and do that, but it's going to be way tougher, and I'm not going to hold myself to that standard if I start to burn out. Also, everyone who went out of their way to support the channel on Patreon, to support myself and Angela and all these projects and everything that's going on here, the endeavor that is the Spindat channel. Thank you so much. And if you need to take your Patreon pledge back, do that. Go in there, grab it. You do not need to leave that in there. Please do not feel obliged at all. Of course, it will still go towards growing the channel to get everything that the channel might require. But for it to make sure that I'm not starving, and that Norton's not starving, that Angela's not starving, as it stands right now, it seems like that's probably not the case. So, again, I really do appreciate and thank you so much for your generosity in my very short time of need that thankfully did really end up ever being a full problem. Again, this isn't the biggest channel in the world, but it does have the best viewers that any channel could have. And honestly, I don't know that there'd ever be anyone else in the world so bummed to be back into a job that feeds them. I was really enjoying all this time I had to create all this cool content. But that doesn't mean the kickflip progress updates are going to end. Let's go, day 4. Oh gosh. It was sunny out when I went in the shed. Kinda looks like it's gonna pour out now. Better make this quick. See that sunshine? The sunshine over there? Come back. So, a ton of really good advice coming up in the comments constantly. More flicking on the front foot, more flicking with the back foot. Keep my back foot up. Don't push down so hard with the front. Also, keep the front foot closer to the bolts of the front trucks so that you don't have to do so much. I don't love that advice. I've tried that. I can't seem to get them. Anyway. Okay. I think that's the closest that I've been to actually doing this somewhat proper. But it sort of means relearning all the bad habits I've already started. And this day job is really getting in the way of my kickflip progress. Unacceptable.